we decided to start the day with 4 experts joining us here at the mashup and starting with their thoughts and their stories on inspiration and agility. So I'm going to call first Lizzy. Miss Lizzy Morris is CST and a certified life coach. Lizzy.
Okay, it looks like we should have a few pairs. If you could just stick your hands in the air for me like this would help. No, you don't walk in a V motion. Fabulous. Now, you can find yourself a pair and have your hands, if you do me a favor. So we look like this, like we're forming a W. Okay? So I need you to find one person, form a W, form a W, form a W, form a W, form a W. Awesome. So what's the W for? It's standing for W for will, want to, right? So we will, and we will want to be agile. We don't do it, we be it. So can I hear you say you will? We will. We will. We will. We will. We will. Be agile. Say it one more time. We will. We will. We will. Be agile. Okay, sit down. All right, so I was trying to think about, like, okay, what can I do that could be kind of inspirational and kind of leave you and it's not too long and drawn out and put you to sleep. So I thought about simply the word will. W-I-L-L. Simple, right? W, wanting, right? We do it because we want to do it. Agile is all about you having a desire to do. Because you're not supposed to be told, right? Coming out of command and control, we want to do it. Next, I is all about the idea of we want to inspect. Not because we want to criticize each other, but we actually truly want to improve. Right? We want to look at how we can improve, so we're going to be inspiring each other. For me, when it came to the whole idea of inspiration, it was watching a team go from defects of having, I think the defects were about like 4,500 and something, and shrink down to 2,000 and something. That was inspiring to me, right? And that made me think, like, this might be something I actually kind of want to do. It gets results, and guess what? People actually liked it. It went from people not kind of to the fact that people are smiling and they're actually laughing and having fun. Then I thought about, okay, so that's what it did for me. Now let's think about the L, right? Laying aside your biases, your judgment calls, the things you knew to do. Now think about the Agile Manifesto really quick. There's a paragraph that starts with, we are still doing what? What does it say we're still doing? Uncovering. Does everybody remember that part? We are still uncovering better ways. What does that say? It says we haven't arrived. Now, sometimes you have to admit we get a bit cocky and act like we got it all down packed, right? But we don't. We are still trying to uncover. So that means you've got to consistently be willing to lay aside everything you think you know about being agile. Everything you think you know about a framework. Because guess what? Somebody could come up with something new. Because we're supposed to be, as Agilists, continually uncovering, right? So that's the whole idea of the L, laying aside. Then last but not least, leaning in. What does that mean? Collaborating. The greatest person who inspired me to kind of want to go ahead and do this was actually Angela D. Johnson. I watched her in a training, and I watched how she was able to be herself. And in being herself, she could still communicate agility. And I thought, I like that. I could do that. Yeah, I like that. I want to just be able to be me. So if you think about leaning in, you can only lean in and be transparent. Leaning in doesn't work if you're fake. Right? So when we're talking about being agile, we're talking about people and people, which is individuals and Come on, people. Individuals and interactions over. Why is it individuals and interactions over processes and tools? Because individuals are alive. They're dynamic. They're changing. So you've got to remember that you've got to want to keep doing this, because that's the human factor, because nobody's going to make you. You are going to want to have to continually inspect, because we've got to find better ways. You've got to be willing to consistently lay aside what it is you think you know, because you know what? Somebody probably knows something better. That's evolution, right? And next, you've got to be willing to lean in and collaborate. But true collaboration is only going to be born out of transparency. So everybody stand up. Stand up again. Make your W, find a new partner, find a new partner, find a new partner. And make the W, make the W. All right. So, let's say it again. We will. We will. We will. Do what? Be. All right.
That was awesome. Next, we have Naveen. Naveen coming along. Naveen is CST again and has over 16 years of experience leading transformations and coaching awesome teams. There you go, Naveen.
Thank you so much, Antara, for this, and thank you so much for inviting me here. I'm in a shock. I was attending so many conferences, and every time a keynote speaker comes on stage, he's dressed up. And today I was thinking, let me get inspired by them, and let me use the only time I use this suit was in my wedding last year. I said, let me get suited up today and look better. And when the names were announced, I was shocked. Oh, am I really inspired? I don't know. But believe me, inspiration is within. Inspiration is when you look at beautiful things around you. When you look at things around you in a way that you can appreciate them. Inspiration is each one of you. I don't know how many of you nodded your head today morning when there was a beautiful event going on. If you had focused a little outside the event, just like me, you would have seen Antara doing this here. That was like awesome inspiration, isn't it? Yes, inspiration comes from every event in our life. I want to share this small incident. Many people don't know that I am also focused on astronomy education as one of my passions. And this passion and inspiration came to me way back in '94 when I was on a bullock cart in a strange village in Karnataka, going to the forest, cutting the woods on the forest for the fire road. On the way back, I was counting the number of stars in the sky. I couldn't count. And the first question that I asked was, why am I not able to count the number of stars in the sky? My second home place became Jawaharlal Nehru Planetarium in Bangalore. I don't know how many questions I've asked my teachers there, and they have inspired me to learn more. They have inspired every day, every event. And today, with that inspiration, we have reached a lot of people across India for astronomy education. This is inspiration. Way back in 2005, on a short visit to US, I was working with one of my customers. And the first day I landed in the company, the team member said, "Hey, Naveen, come over. We have a daily stand-up meeting." I'm like, what? That was something that I've never heard of. And I go there, I stand in a line, in a circle, and team members say, "What did you do yesterday?" Wow. What did you do yesterday? For 24 hours, I flew all the way from Bangalore to United States. And that's all I did. That's good. What are you going to do today? I have absolutely no idea. I'm going to probably take a rest today. And then, are there any impediments? And I said, like, yes, of course, I don't know where is the hotel right now. And the event, everybody started sharing their own experiences. At the end of the day, I turned up to one of my team members. I said, tell me what was happening. And the team member, he actually gave me an inspirational thought process. He told me, hey, Naveen, this is very natural behavior that we have. We plan every day for what we want to achieve. And that plan every day was stuck in my mind. I came back to the hotel. I was thinking all the way. What do you mean by plan every day? Plan every day. Wow. Plan every day is to get inspired by yourself every day. Get inspired to do what you feel it is achievable by end of the day. And then I started thinking over it. I remembered my father. You know, at home now, I have a task board at home, and my parents, especially my father and I, we use it very often. And what goes on the task board? Pay the electricity bill. Due date, 22nd of September. Pay the water bill. Due date, 15th of September. And what happens is, if I don't pull that work and finish the work, my father would not complain. He will look at it and then say, oh, my son Naveen, he is busy, let me do it. He pays the bill and pushes that work item into the done state. And this behavior pattern of my parents, my father, inspired me to coach the same thing at office. The teams that I work with inspire. Now, I want to tell you two things about what I have learned about leadership. One, there are influential leaders who talk and influence you. There are inspirational leaders who don't talk, but they inspire you by their actions, by their values. I'm going to pause for a moment. I strongly believe each one of you are inspirational leaders. You have something to inspire other person. Can we just look around each other, just turn around and spend about 30 seconds telling something that inspires you and listening what inspires the other person? Go ahead, 30 seconds. What inspires you? Team. Okay. Now, let me just make a last comment. What inspires me is to be with you at the ground. Thank you so much.
That was awesome, Naveen. Thank you. We next have Satisha. Satisha is CST again and the founder of Lean Pitch Technologies. Satisha.
Thank you. May I request you to stand up again?
Energized.
Reach out to sky and your index finger and draw a circle. Look at it, please. What do you see? Circle, clockwise or anti-clockwise? Clockwise. Continue to do the same thing. Bring it below your nose and then look at it from top. What do you see? Anti-clockwise. What are you doing? Same thing, right? You're doing the same thing, but you see things differently when you look at it from different angles. If you like Modi ji, GST is great. If you don't like him, GST sucks, right? Right? If you wish, you can settle down. Otherwise, you can be standing. So we learn quite a lot of stuff. We come to conferences. We go to meetups. We go to trainings. And we also look at the post by Misomaniacs on LinkedIn. You know Misomaniac, right? The people who complain about everything and anything. So we learn from all these sources, and we create image about something and someone here, and that impacts our judgment, does it? It impacts our judgment. These are called as mental models. And if you say what is agility today, you hear a lot of stuff, right? Someone might say, if you're doing Scrum by the book, you're agile. If you're using SAFe, you are not agile. You suck, right? So different mental models about agile. So what is agility? For me, agility is our ability to evolve our products, our services to meet customer needs. That's all it means to me. And if you're able to do that, I mean, of course, in order to do that, you have to change the system within which you develop. That is your organization. But if your focus becomes more on the organization, not the core of agility, then, of course, we lose the purpose. So I really talk about culture of purpose. Focus on the purpose, not really anything else, because if you focus on the purpose, most probably you'll be able to do everything else around it. So you as the leaders, of course, everybody is a leader. You as a leader, you're supposed to inspire people about agility. How does that happen? You need to, if you can inspire someone, forget about organization. If you can inspire one person in an organization, believe me, they will make the change happen. Let me tell you a story. I grew up in a village close to Tumkur. There was only one government school. And the admission to school was like the teacher would come to the home, and then he would look at all the kids in home and then say, okay, reach out to your ear using your hand over the head like this. If you're able to reach out your ear, then most probably you are admitted. Otherwise, no. I was very short, so I couldn't do that. So for 2 consecutive years, I was denied admission to school. So even when I was 6, I was not in school. So I was really sulking over it at home. So my father started teaching me all the stuff at home. So he was kind of being a mentor to me. But my mother, who has never been to school, she asked, what are you sulking about? I said, this person does not allow me to school. I want to go to school. Who is this person? The teacher is not allowing me to go to school. She asked, did he ever stop you? I thought, okay, no, he never stopped me. When did he stop me? He did not stop me. So I thought, I took courage, and then I went to school. And then I got caned very nicely on my palm. And then I came back home. And then I complained to my mom saying, you said you go, mom, teacher is not stopping you. I went there, see the beatings. She said, see, he never stopped you from going to school. You went to school. Maybe you did not enter the classroom, but you went to school. I said, yes, you are right. I went to school. I went again next day. I got caned nicely and then came back. And still I did not give up. I continued for almost 6 days. The 7th day, the teacher gave up. He said, this guy anyway is not giving up. So he created a special place at the corner of the classroom. There was only one classroom. All the 4th standard, first to 4th standard, all the students used to be in the same room. So he created a space for me at the corner. He said, okay, go and sit there. Anyway, you're not going anywhere. Sit there. So I sat there. The next day, all the people who used to play with me, all the kids who used to play with me, I took them with me. Because teacher is allowing us to school now, let's go. So that's how it started there. So we created almost a preschool. And what inspired me to do that? It's just that one statement by mother that changed my mental model. So I always heard saying, the teacher is stopping me to go to school, but my mother changed that mental model. So if we can do that, if we can go to organizations or identify one person in an organization and change their mental model about what change is all about. So adopting Scrum is not change. So you're going to use Scrum for something. If you can help them understand what is that thing and inspire them, most probably the agility will be there. So what I'd like you to do throughout the day, today and tomorrow, if you can talk to people, understand what agility is all about, and inspire them by changing their mental model about agility, if at all it needs change, that would be great. So that's all I wanted to share with you today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Last but never the least, we have an award-winning an agile coach waiting. Here's Stuart Mitchell.
Hello. No, don't stand up. I was going to talk about something that was going to be so boring that I thought, no. After seeing that video by the Scrum Alliance, I thought, no, there's something better I can give you. And, by the way, weren't those drummers fantastic? Oh, my word. I love India. I love India. And I realized there's a speed of light. And how do you measure the speed of light? And you measure the speed of light, it can be done by, as the traffic lights turn green, and a Bangalore taxi driver presses his horn. The speed of light. And I felt that speed of light. I've been feeling that speed of light for a long time. Every time I have a barbecue and I have family and friends around for dinner, and they say, Stu, what do you do for a living? And I say, well, I work in computers. And their eyes close at the speed of light, because that is so boring. In 2016, I was inspired. I was at a conference, an Agile conference, and a lady called Michelle Davis actually did a presentation. She played a video, and that video is still there on YouTube, and I urge you to write this down. It's called Meals Per Hour. Meals Per Hour. And it's the New York Food Bank. And what they did is that there was a storm in New York in 2012. It was Hurricane Sandy. And after Hurricane Sandy, there was 1.6 million New Yorkers who were struggling to get food. Incredible. Toyota, at that time, said, we're not going to donate money, we're going to donate people. And these people helped the New York Food Bank, and they decided, they gave them ways to delete waste, the ways to do their structure, and basically gave them agile techniques. And I was inspired. I was blown away. I went, wow. So, time passes. And we get asked that we were going to have an away day. And we went to something called Oz Harvest. You can look them up. Oz Harvest do something incredible. They take all the food that has gone by, it's past its sell-by date. They collect it in one place. And they make delicious lasagnas, delicious curries. They'd make delicious food, and they pack it up in a truck, and they give it to all the homeless people. I go, wow, this is my calling. And on that away day, the owner, who's an inspirational figure herself, and she won Australian of the Year, she said, we are good at food, but we are not good at process. Is there anyone here that's very good at process? And me and a few of my colleagues go, well, actually, I've just remembered the New York Food Bank. Perhaps this is our calling. This is our time. So we put up our hands. And we started working with Oz Harvest. And it was a world away from a lot of your areas of banking and finance and doing the startups. This was real. This was tangible. This was making difference in people's lives. So we started working with them, and we helped them. And we said, instead of doing it this way, perhaps try doing it that. Instead of having the lorry drivers going all this route, try doing it this way. Have what the big things that you need to do and start prioritizing them. Make the work visible. Start taking Scrum to the charities. And guess what? Things changed. Slowly, but things changed. People started being inspired. At first they're going, oh, what's this new thing? Particularly people like the lorry drivers. Wow, what are we doing here? You're just making things harder for us. Very similar to that video that we seen earlier. Do you remember when you seen the teachers going, oh, it's just more stuff? That's the reaction that we had. But piece by piece, what we did is that we'd do things like workshops for the lorry drivers to say, tell us how we can help you. And they'd say, well, we'd like to do this. We did swarming techniques by getting the lorry drivers to, and they'd never done this before. And then we said we'd make sure that we are listening. And what we'll do is that we'll take a couple of the things that you've done, we'll take it to the management of the charity, and we'll make sure that you get proper lunch breaks. We'll make sure that you get recognized. And we started recognizing the people who donated the food, as opposed to just giving us the food. And something magical happened. The work that we did started inspiring others. And so from the 2 of us that started, it became 4. It became 8. We've got now 32 Agile individuals who turn up at a regular basis, who regularly help these people, and they get absolute good heart. So let me finish. Know what you've got. You are leaders. You are great people. But also know the skills that you have got inside you. And there's a lot of people out there, a lot of charities who have got a lot of people with good hearts, but they don't have the skills. You have the skills, and I think around this room, a lot of people have the heart. Get involved with your sports society. Get involved with their school. Get involved with your local charity. They would love to see you, and they are desperate for your good knowledge. And I promise you, you will inspire others, and you yourself will be inspired. So the next time that you have a barbecue and you have your friends round, be proud with what you do and tell that great story. Thank you.